Ever felt like a spotlight is on you in social situations and you just want to hide? That's what social anxiety can feel like. Social anxiety, also known as social phobia, is more than just shyness or occasional nerves. It's a fear that's so intense it can disrupt your daily life, making routine tasks like grocery shopping or even just answering the phone seem like insurmountable challenges. It manifests in various ways, from excessive self-consciousness and fear of embarrassment to intense worry and panic before social events. Some people might even experience physical symptoms like nausea, sweating, or trembling, and if you're thinking, "That sounds like me," you're not alone. Millions around the globe experience social anxiety. It's one of the most common mental health conditions, affecting approximately 7% of the population at any given time. Remember, having social anxiety is nothing to be ashamed of. It's a part of the human experience for many of us. Understanding what social anxiety is the first step to managing it. Social anxiety comes with a variety of symptoms. Let's learn how to recognize them. The first symptom is often a fear of social situations. This isn't just about feeling slightly uncomfortable in a crowd. It's an intense dread that can make you want to avoid all social interactions. You might find excuses not to go out or feel a sense of relief when plans get canceled. This fear can be so overpowering that it interferes with work, school, and other daily activities. Another common symptom is the fear of being judged or scrutinized by others. This is more than just a worry about what others think of you. It's a constant fear that you're being negatively evaluated, even in the most casual or mundane situations. You might find yourself obsessing over every word you say, worrying that you're coming off as awkward, stupid, or unlikable. Then there's the physical symptoms. These can include a racing heart, trembling hands, a shaky voice, blushing, sweating, stomach upset, or even feeling faint. These signs can be so distressing that you might fear having a panic attack or losing control in public. Avoidance of social situations is another telltale sign. This can manifest in many ways. You might avoid certain places where there are lots of people, or you might steer clear of activities that would put you at the center of attention. You may even avoid making phone calls or participating in video calls because of the fear of being seen or heard. It's also common to worry excessively about social situations, often for days or weeks before the event. You might rehearse conversations in your head or worry about every possible scenario that could go wrong. This constant worrying can be exhausting and can take a toll on your mental health. Lastly, there's the fear of embarrassment or humiliation. This fear can be so intense that you might avoid doing anything that could potentially lead to embarrassment, like speaking in public, eating in public, or even just being seen in public. Recognizing these symptoms in yourself is the first step to managing your social anxiety. Understanding what you're dealing with can help you find strategies to cope and can guide you towards seeking professional help if needed. Remember, you're not alone in this, and there are tools and resources available to help you navigate through the challenges of social anxiety. Breathing and mindfulness exercises are powerful tools in managing social anxiety. When we're anxious, our bodies tend to go into fight or flight mode. The heart races, our breathing becomes shallow, and we may feel dizzy or lightheaded. It's a primal response designed to protect us from danger. But in the modern world, this response can be triggered by non-threatening situations, like a social gathering or a work presentation. This is where breathing and mindfulness exercises come into play. They help to soothe the body's stress response, allowing us to reclaim control. Breathing exercises are particularly effective because they directly impact our heart rate and blood pressure, two things that tend to skyrocket during bouts of anxiety. Let's consider a simple breathing exercise you can try. It's called 4-7-8 breathing. To do this, you inhale for a count of 4, hold your breath for 7 counts, and then exhale slowly for a count of 8. This pattern helps to slow your heart rate and gives your body and mind a focus other than your anxiety. Mindfulness, on the other hand, is all about staying in the present moment. It's about acknowledging your feelings without judgment and without trying to change them. A simple mindfulness exercise you can try involves focusing on your senses. What can you see? What can you hear? What can you touch or taste? This can help to ground you in the present moment and take your mind off your worries. Another technique is the body scan. Close your eyes and mentally scan your body from head to toe. Notice any tension or discomfort and try to let it go with each exhale. This exercise not only helps to relax your body, but also brings your attention away from anxiety-provoking thoughts. These exercises may seem simple, but they can have a profound effect on your body's stress response. It's important to note that results may not be immediate, and that's okay. It takes time to retrain our bodies and minds to respond differently to stress. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you practice these exercises, the more effective they will be. Cognitive behavioral techniques can help you alter the way you think about social situations. Cognitive behavioral techniques, or CBT for short, are a type of therapy that helps you become aware of inaccurate or negative thinking, so you can view challenging situations more clearly and respond to them in a more effective way. It's like tweaking the settings on your mental radio, helping you tune out the static and turn up the music. Let's take a look at some simple and practical examples of these techniques that can help manage social anxiety. First, there's cognitive restructuring. This technique involves identifying and challenging the negative thoughts that fuel social anxiety. For instance, if you're worried about a social event, you might think, "I'm going to make a fool of myself." Cognitive restructuring teaches you to challenge this thought, asking, "Am I really likely to embarrass myself, or is this just my anxiety talking?" Next, we have exposure therapy. It might sound a bit scary, but it's actually a very effective technique. Exposure therapy is all about gradually and repeatedly facing the social situations you fear. By doing this, you can start to realize that the outcomes you fear rarely come to pass, and even if they do, you're more than capable of handling them. Then there's behavioral experiments. These involve testing the reality of your negative predictions and observing the results. For example, you might worry that if you don't make eye contact during a conversation, people will think you're rude. So you test this out intentionally, and you might find that people don't react as negatively as you expected. Lastly, there's mindfulness. While not a CBT technique in itself, mindfulness can be a powerful tool in conjunction with CBT. It helps you stay focused on the present instead of getting caught up in negative predictions about future social interactions. These are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to cognitive behavioral techniques. Remember, it's not about eliminating anxiety completely, it's about managing it and not letting it control your life. Changing the way you think about social situations can have a big impact on your social anxiety. Sometimes, social anxiety can be too much to handle on your own. That's when it's time to seek professional help. It's important to understand that reaching out to a professional is not a sign of weakness, but rather a step towards empowerment. It's about taking control of your life and making a conscious decision to improve your mental health. Let's talk about therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is a common form of therapy used to treat social anxiety. It's a type of talk therapy that helps you become aware of inaccurate or negative thinking so you can view challenging situations more clearly and respond to them in a more effective way. CBT can be incredibly helpful in providing you with the tools to manage and overcome your social anxiety. But therapy isn't the only option. Medication can also be an effective treatment for social anxiety. Medications like selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, or SSRIs, and benzodiazepines can help reduce symptoms of social anxiety. Of course, medication should always be used under the guidance of a healthcare professional. Group therapy is another great option. It allows you to connect with others who are going through similar experiences. It can be comforting to know you're not alone and to learn from others' coping strategies. Online therapy has also become increasingly popular, especially given the recent global circumstances. It offers the same benefits as traditional therapy, but with the added convenience of being able to talk to a professional from the comfort of your own home. Remember, everyone's journey with social anxiety is different, and what works for one person may not work for another. It's all about finding what works best for you. Professional help is not a last resort, but rather an important part of a comprehensive treatment plan. Seeking help is a brave step and a sign that you're ready to take control of your life. Remember, there's no shame in seeking help. You're not alone in this. Social anxiety can be a daunting challenge, but remember, you're not alone. In our journey today, we've explored what social anxiety is: a pervasive fear of social situations, often accompanied by intense worry and physical discomfort. We've learned to recognize its symptoms, from excessive self-consciousness to avoidance of social activities. We've also delved into coping mechanisms, like the power of deep breathing and mindfulness exercises, and how cognitive behavioral techniques can help reframe our thoughts. These are all tools that can be utilized to take control of social anxiety rather than letting it control us. And importantly, we've underscored the value of seeking professional help. Therapists and psychologists are trained to help us navigate these stormy waters, and medications can also be a valuable part of a comprehensive treatment plan. Countless people experience social anxiety, so don't feel isolated. There are resources and communities ready to provide support. Remember, it's okay to ask for help. You're not alone in this. Together, we can manage social anxiety.